NASA on television. The sound is so overwhelming. When the sound waves travel across the 3.5 miles from the launch pad to those watching the launch, we not only hear the liftoff, we actually feel it. It is so amazing. We are completely engulfed in that noise, and the sound is just incredible. It is thrilling to realize that this rocket with a satellite that I have helped build is heading at 17,600 miles per hour into space. Mucho gusto estar aquí con ustedes.
After nearly a year-long journey, Maven is finally arriving at Mars. Can you tell us about the Maven mission entering Mars's atmosphere?
Estamos muy emocionados porque después de 10 meses de trayectoria a Marte, la misión de Maven finalmente va a llegar a Marte ahora el domingo. Se va a poner con los cohetes en la dirección de la travesía para poder hacer que el satélite se haga más, reducir la velocidad para poder ingresar a la atmósfera marciana. Estamos muy emocionados porque ha sido un viaje muy largo y finalmente vamos a llegar a nuestro destino.
On September 17, 2022, protesters gathered throughout various regions in Iran in response to the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini. Amini was arrested for allegedly breaking Iran's strict hijab rules. Iran's Sharia law states that any female over the age of 9 must wear a headscarf in public. While in custody, Amini suffered multiple blows to the head. However, authorities claim that she had suffered a heart attack. They still reject allegations that she was beaten by these security forces. Her death sparked outrage and sparked protests against the Islamic State. Women have responded by cutting their hair and burning their headscarves in an act of defiance, as well as chanting death to the dictator. But people are also protesting in violent ways, like torching police stations and vehicles. Iran responded to these protests by condemning them and staging counter-protests organized by the Islamic State. Iran's crackdown on protesters resulted in the death of at least 154 people. Iran also reportedly shut down internet communication when Amini's death started gaining social media momentum. Despite all of this, footage has released around the world. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei of Iran blames the protests on Israel and the U.S. An investigation into Amini's death is in process. Protesters have vowed not to relent until justice for Mahsa is served.
On October 3rd, 2022, at least 125 people were confirmed dead at a soccer match at Arema FC of Wlhstv, Malang City, and Persebaya Surabaya. After Malang's lost, some of the angry spectators broke onto the field. In a brutal retaliation, the police fired tear gas in the arena. Audience members described the police hitting them with sticks and shields. Investigations are currently underway. The Indonesian public is devastated and angry. Many protests have broken out since the tragedy over the police response.
Last Thursday, Category 4 Hurricane Ian made landfall in southwest Florida, leaving millions without power and creating major floods damaging infrastructure, homes, and environments. After lowering into a tropical storm, the hurricane re-intensified off the coast of South Carolina and caused further damage. With death tolls nearing 80 in Florida alone, and more still at risk with looming infrastructure damage, government response has needed to be swift and effective. Aid has been sweeping in on both the local and federal level, and President Biden working closely with an unlikely partner, Florida Governor DeSantis, to administer support where it is most needed. Quote, "I just want the people of Florida to know we see what you're going through, and we're with you. We're going to do everything we can for you." However, some residents in areas most affected by Ian, such as Florida's Fort Myers, feel frustrated and confused by the government response, potentially highlighting a disconnect between what the government is saying and the situation on the ground. Nevertheless, people affected by Hurricane Ian across the nation are banding together and lending helping hands to their devastated communities.
I'm Miles Carey. I'm one of the assistant principals here working with 11th graders, and I also oversee our school's drills, all the fire drills and all that. So tomorrow, the Secure the Building drill usually doesn't impact instruction, so it doesn't affect the kids too much, but it's a drill to help our campus safety and admin team practice if there's ever a threat outside in the community. So for example, if like that giant down the road the grocery store gets robbed and there's like an armed robber out in the neighborhood, we secure the building, meaning that every single door is now guarded for at least the duration of the drill by either a campus safety or an admin team, just to make sure no one's coming in or out that shouldn't be here while that threat's present. And then as soon as police or the county informs us that the threat is over, we can lift the drill and go back to life as usual.
So we got positive feedback last year. There were some people that really enjoyed having homecoming outside. It was good weather, it wasn't too hot, and adding the activities was also a lot of fun. So it's mostly for security and safety. So 1,300 students at a dance is a lot of students, so we just want to make sure that everyone is safe. So the ticket price goes to cover the DJ, the MC, all the lighting, also the activities. We're going to have some additional activities that we didn't have last year, and that's included in the ticket price. If we don't sell out, then we're going to allow students to purchase tickets for guests on the Thursday before the dance, during lunch and after school. But it's important that if you're planning on bringing a guest, that you go to the activities office and pick up a guest permission slip, and you bring that completed before you purchase your guest's ticket. Well, if we use last year as an example, we couldn't have any guests because we did sell out after 3 days of ticket sales. Now just buy your tickets early, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and the theme is going to be disco, so if you haven't purchased what you're going to wear, think about that.
Generals, I'm Carter, and this is your mid-season report for football players.
I think the season's gone very well. We had a very difficult out-of-conference schedule, and we played competitively in those 3 games. And the 2 conference games that we've played, we won both.
All right, so some of the accomplishments that we've made as a team is definitely building that brotherhood with my teammates. I feel like brotherhood is a very important aspect of the game because if you have trust in your brothers, then like anything's possible.
And then our second half goal would be to win our conference and make the playoffs.
So what stood out to me for the first half of the season is just how hard the teams worked. We've put in a lot of work during the off season, showing up every day in August and every day after school from 3 to 6 p.m. We've just been practicing hard.
Definitely a big difference, the game's played way faster, the players are bigger, and you just have to be able to adjust to that.
Welcome to Today in History. I'm your host, Clayton Schroeder, and with this new segment, I'll be talking about what happened in history. Today, October 7th, in 1949, a constitution went into effect in the Soviet-controlled area of Germany that created the communist country of East Germany. And it stayed that way until 1990, when West Germany and East Germany were reunited.